I'm Taylor Jackson, and these are some of my AI-generated avatars. I'm excited to look at them. Oh my gosh, here I am. Uncanny. You thought that was me, but no. It's an AI-generated version of me. Looks like there is multiple SDI ports on the side of that. I don't think it's a NASA badge, I think it's a T-Rex. So perhaps I work at the first space station that Jurassic Park built, which I assume is where the series is headed next. Next camera. I don't know why. Do I over sharpen my eyes in every single thumbnail photo? I don't think so. I don't do this, I don't think. Kind of like the light up fluorescent shutter button there. That's kind of nice. Is that the flash? It might be a flash unit. I think we're gonna see this one at CES. I think the back is probably a Nintendo Switch. So a Nintendo Switch has been modified into professional level camera. Look at all those dials on the front. That's where you want all the dials. When you get a camera, you're like, I don't want them on the back. That's what I see. Don't clutter the back of the screen. Put them all on the front. So I have no idea what I'm doing ever. Next up, my most beautiful face. This is my pretty face. I think ergonomics, 10 out of 10, at least. Has a kind of a grip on the side. Also, it's weird that, so I obviously uploaded, if you follow the channel, you know I have shirts that are similar to this, and it made me a shirt that's similar to the shirt that I wear sometimes. That's funny, that's too personal. I don't care, copy my face, just don't copy my shirts. Wow. This camera though, the lens kind of droops down like this, and there's a bunch of, appears to be kind of leather and snaps. Next up, here I am on my way to the Met Gala in my space coat. What's in my mouth? You're not allowed to chew gum at the Met Gala. It's kind of like a TLR. I kind of like that actually. And maybe up here, I don't know if that's the full flash unit, but if it's a full flash, I'd buy a curved flash unit. Yeah, I'm sold. Stop selling. There's no camera here. Who cares? Pay no attention to the fingers because they're horrifying. But I do like, we'll just get the fingers out of the shot there. But I do like that there's a little LCD up here. Apparently it only shows battery life, that's fine. And a number of dials. So it's kind of like the Sony A7, this is actually the R5, first video on the R5 that we're recording on, and it has the 2 dials in the back. This design has stepped that up, and they've gone with about 8 dials up in the top. So again, ergonomics, that's getting a 11 out of 10. Here we go again. Take my face, not my shirt. This is one of those I think Sony just released this. Look at how happy I am. Where do you think I am? Where's that? Are we in London? This is the new C7000. And I like how they offset the lens. So the lens is no longer in the front of the camera. It's kind of offset a little bit. I like that. Next up, he stole my house. My hangy lights are in the back of some of these shots. And it was like, we're not gonna use your hangy lights, but we're gonna put you in another weird kitchen with similar lighting. And I don't know what this is, but I'm guessing this has got to be a macro lens. So happy to have this camera. Of all of them, with the exception of get rid of maybe this side, unless this is how you advance the film. In the film, you're shooting like 4x5 film in the back here, and you need a full crank to advance it. But I don't know. I would use this camera. You couldn't bring it anywhere. It's like a Pentax 6.7, but oh, what did they do here? Plaster on the lens, and this must come built in with. Is this a Rode Wireless Go 2 or is this the new DJI wireless pack? Built into the camera. I like that. I'm super sold for this. And again, the Canon C7000. I like how it does a full right angle. Oh wow, here we are. Oh gosh, I don't like that. But this camera, this is a pretty nice design. I like the red background, I like the branding. Probably been watching a little GX Ace on YouTube and decided to design their entire camera after his aesthetic. I don't know, I like the 2 lenses. I don't know where you grip it or if I am gripping it at the bottom. This one's the Is It Cake camera, and it looks like this one is cake. It didn't even put me in this photo. It was like, this guy? No, get lost. I got a camera to show you. And I don't know if this is maybe an Olympus. Look at that face. Wow, I'm just so happy to be here. Hello, I have a camera to show you. This is, it's a really metallic design. And I'm guessing by the red front-facing logo there, this is a Canon camera that they don't want to show you yet. And they've made it for left-handed people. That's incredible. So the shutter button or the record button is on your left hand, but then all the other important looking things are all on your right. Maybe it's not for left-handed people. One day you'll get your camera. That one just looks like a dong. Wow, I'm a spaceman, guys. Check out my space face. And I think I have too many fingers going on there. There's too many fingers holding this camera. And that takes care of that. Let's go do some real life things today. All right, I'm on my way to BJ Photo to drop off the 14mm G Master. I will be using the 11 going forward. A little bit smaller, easier to carry with me. 14 is amazing. So happy I had it in Iceland for Northern Lights photos, but now with the 11, even though it's APS-C on the A7R5, it's still a 6 megapixel file if I was to take photos with this. I obviously have my 35, my 50, and the Tamron 35 to 150, as well as a 20. But this is going to be the new walk around, film some stuff lens. It also does this. Wow, when you turn it to full frame, there's edges on the side. I think it's already on consignment, but it's on pause.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know if he needs to check it in, or we thought it might be issue.
There's one image there.
So it's one image times
No, but
24 exposures. And unfortunately for Lindsay, it came out blank. Here's some others that I took that I think look pretty nice. Now, I'm gonna go pick up some cat food. Our cat Penelope eats only kangaroo because she's allergic to everything else.
Hi, welcome to NW. What can I get for you today?
Hi there, can I just have a regular diet root beer?
It's a diet root beer, nothing else?
Other exciting things on the list of things to do today. Doing a podcast with Focal for the holiday episode. And then tomorrow, we're going to Japan. Pierre T. Lambert. Actually, everyone's there. Everyone's there for an additional event that I'm not yet there for, but hopefully be doing a video with Chris Howe. We'll find out together if we get to or not. It's just if timelines come together and end up working out. Chris Nichols, everybody's over there right now. And I'm thinking about going, so carry-on only is usually how we travel. If we're somewhere over the winter or whatever, we'll bring a check bag. Most of the time, 98% of trips, carry-on only. And I'm thinking about bringing an empty carry-on. So I'll bring the camera stuff I need in a backpack, but then an empty carry-on, go there, the clothes you're wearing, and find new things and wear them. Not jackets. I've been instructed to not buy any more jackets this year. Let's do a little camera show and tell for what's coming to Japan. As always, DJI wireless mic kit. And we actually have the lavs from the Tascam DR10Ls. And I found that those to be, the best lavs that I've used in terms of just canceling noise and only, picking up within kind of this area. And then just everything else just disappears. It's amazing. It's awesome for wedding days. Great for travel content, being out there in the world, creating stuff. Next camera. Oh, you're excited. Can your camera play Snake? Let's launch right into it. Here we go. Wow. Next up, probably my favorite camera, weirdly, of the past couple of years. Is there a memory card in this? There's a memory card in this. You open it up, it turns on. I don't know. Having a lot of fun with this. Onto the real cameras. I'll be doing, or at least maybe let me know if you think this is a good idea or bad idea in the comments. I think I'm going to do a day with a bunch of the different cameras. So I have a Fuji X100V, and I'm going to do a one day with it. Take some pictures. Marshall and I can make a little video and talk about this camera as well as show it in use in the field. Gonna be doing the same thing with this Sony a7R Mark V. This is a camera that I'm sure you know about. It is the Sony RX1R Mark II. The battery life is terrible. The images, very, very nice. It's a full frame camera. It's how many megapixels? I think it's like 40 megapixels. It's a point and shoot. Can't detach the lens, that's what it is. It's 35 f2 fixed, but it's very, very nice. So I'm excited to use that. Next up, the Canon R6 Mark Dos. So we're gonna use that for one day, this for one day, that for one day, this for one day, the kids cam for one day. Probably what I'm the most excited about. So this is my Leica M7 with a made in Canada Summicron. Look at that, made in Canada, so cool. Or not cool. Maybe it's worth less than the German made one, but it came from like 2 hours away. It's a story for another time. Leica M7. I have a lot of Cinestill 800T, which I'm, did I turn the focus breathing compensation on? Are we focus breathing? Maybe focus breathing comp comes enabled and you gotta turn it on. 800T Very excited. It gives those weird halations around the bright lights. I want to do something else. I'm debating. I feel weird doing this because I'm directly copying somebody that I really look up to and admire, but I kind of want to go shoot slide film only at this corner in Shinjuku. Greg Girard took this photo. I bought the book. He sent me the sign, this image here. And I messaged him and I asked him, like, where'd you take that? Because I had an idea. I thought it was outside of Shinjuku Station, and I was correct. It was a different location outside of the station. But I kind of want to go there and just shoot what it looks like now. I don't know. I'm copying him. I'm copying that he's shooting medium format film, and I feel weird about that. But I think it would be a nice way to spend an evening, or a nice activity for an evening. So I think we're gonna do that as well. I might bring the Mamiya 7.2, or probably more likely a GA645W, or maybe the not W version. It's a medium format point and shoot camera, and I love it. And I'm gonna shoot on Ektachrome. I think Greg shot a bunch of Fuji, the Fuji stocks that he's probably shot in the 70s. They likely don't exist anymore, but I don't know. I like Ektachrome. It's my spin on his location, his image, something that I've been staring at for the past 2 years. I discovered him in kind of May of 2020. I wish that I would have known about his work way before, but I learned about him in May 2020. And looking at his photos every single day makes me want to go back to Japan even more than I already do. But I get to go. So yeah, those are the cameras. A day with all of these things. And that pretty much caps out the trip. I feel weird making it about gear, but I think that's part of YouTube. And that's what gets the search traffic and the familiarness that if you're familiar with Leica, maybe you'll click the video because you find that more interesting than my face. This camera here is the one that I may or may not be bringing. It has Cinestill 800T already loaded into it, and it runs on AA batteries, which is kind of cool. And I might as well bring it. It's small. I'm sure it fits. Actually, now I'm a little torn. Do I bring the Ricoh because it's smaller? How small that is. Or do I bring this because I haven't used it or done a video with it, which means it's untested and it might not work. It seems to advance film, but I don't know. Or this that I know works, but there is definitely a light leak. The images that you saw from Iceland were all taken on this camera. Ricoh R1S, tiny camera, or the Nikon L35AD. What would you bring on the trip? Let me know. I could bring both, but then I'm gonna have 16 cameras on a 7-day trip. And when the entire trip becomes about the gear, which it already is, but then when you add more gear, then it gets more bad and less good for me. But we make more content, so maybe that's good. I think I'm just gonna bring the one that I haven't tried. I'm bringing this guy.